Hello, I'm Laura Knowles.
Hello, I'm Claire Snowden-Darling, and we are the founders of the College of Functional Wellness.
And welcome to Nutrition for Health. This is an amazing course that we are so excited about. This is all the information that is needed in the nutrition world. It is.
It is. It's a foundation of the information that's needed in the nutrition world, but it's a really important foundation because one of the things that you will discover about Laura and I is that we are passionate about breaking through the health myths, aren't we? That there are so many health myths and people get so confused, and it's why we got into teaching in the first place. We wanted to be able to provide people with coherent information. So this foundation course really breaks through a lot of the health myths. It's not just our perspective on things. We break down all of things like different diets, and we explain the pros and cons of all of them. And so that you end up with this real knowledge and understanding of nutrition and diet.
We've been in this industry for 15 years now, and we both 1,500 years now. And we've both studied nutrition courses in the past and nutrition diplomas in the past. And I mean, my nutrition diploma was from the early 2000s, when nutrition was such a new subject. And I look back on the information that I learned then, and a lot of unlearning has had to happen because the industry has changed so much. And also because it was so new back then, there was a lot of guesswork. And what's really exciting about being in nutrition now is we have so much research at our fingertips that we can bring into a course like this.
Well, nutritional science was a bit of a misnomer, wasn't it? So it's only now that functional nutrition has really caused a lot of research to happen, and fast. So we now have access to that. So this unlearning is a really important point, because this course, you can do it as a standalone course just to add on to an existing therapy that you have. So if you just want to be able to start making recommendations to clients about diet or any practice of physiotherapy, PTs, and anything really, you can just do it if you're interested in nutrition and you want to get a bit of understanding about what's really going on, and so that you can feel a bit clearer about the choices that you're making. However, it's an essential part of two of the courses that we provide in the college, which are functional wellness coaching, which is a nutrition coaching certification focusing on our 6 pillars of health around hormones and stress. And we also offer those protocols within our first course, our first course in functional kinesiology, which is a specific therapy. So those are actually, to become an accredited practitioner in those, you need to have done this as a foundation. It's actually a legal requirement to get your certification. Now, we created this course because there are a few of these courses out there, nutrition courses in line with the National Occupational Standards, covering this syllabus, There's a few of them, and they're about the same price. Ours is, we decided to do one because we were having to unteach things that our students were learning on the course, because the information has moved so fast and we now actually have that science. And this is why we actually wanted to create it, because there's also the passion for Laura and I is to always bring an incredibly professional perspective to everything that we do. And a lot just didn't feel like they were that rooted in science and practical application.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Absolutely. What we're going to do here is, well, we wanted to introduce ourselves and welcome you on the course. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start looking at the course and looking at the modules and talking you through them. So here we are, that you should be able to see this screen on your own laptops. So welcome to the Nutrition for Health course. So this course is formatted with 8 modules, And each module has a quiz at the end of it, like an assessment that you take so that we know and you know that you have absorbed the information. Now, the pass mark for this is a multiple choice questionnaire, and the pass mark for this is 80%. But don't worry if you don't pass first time. You can easily resit the quiz again until you get the 80%. And we would recommend that when you're listening to this video and when you're reading the module, that you're taking notes so that when you come into your assessment, you can easily use your notes to reference to be able to help you answer the questions. There's also 2 essays that we are asking for and a book review.
That's something that people often really freak out about, isn't it? Like, oh, I've got to write an essay, it's really stressful. They're not long essays, and they're on really useful topics that people are going to be asking you about or you're going to need. So that's why we've had them done. And something to bring your attention to here is we make sure that every single learning style is catered for in our courses. So there's a lot of visual, there's something for everybody in this. And so for some people, writing an essay is also how they learn. For some people, it's really challenging, but also part of learning is getting out of our comfort zone. So we have given you guidelines on how to write an essay, how to write a book review, so it's not going to be like being at school.
And the 2 essay questions are, one is around how lifestyle affects our health, and you'll be getting lots of that information in this course, so that's really going to support you. And the other essay question is, why is nutrition vital in this modern age? Again, a lot of that information is in here. We also look for you to do your own research, get excited about these topics. This is what we're looking for. The book review, we have given you a list of 10 books that we love, that we have learned from. And so choose a book from the list, read it, enjoy it, write notes, and then do a review. And we've given you a really clear guideline of what we expect in a book review.
Or don't like it and thoroughly disagree with it, that we're also excited to see that too.
Absolutely. We also ask for 8 nutritional consultations as part of this course. And you get the information about how to do a nutritional consultation at the end of the course. We want you to sit through all of the modules so that you understand the importance of diet, that you understand the importance of organic before you're making any recommendations to anyone. If you are doing this as an add-on as part of a therapy, then you can do this with your clients, or if you're doing this as an interest, you can do a nutritional consultation with your friends and family. The type of nutritional consultation you're going to be doing is based on food. This is a food course. You're not going to be working with supplementation. That is on the practitioner training courses, such as functional wellness coaching. So we're just getting you the foundation groundwork of how to work with someone and recommend on diet. After each module, you will have an opportunity to do some self-reflection. And this is something that we feel really passionately about, that we as practitioners work on ourselves harder than we work on our clients. And so coming to the end of a module, there's an opportunity for you to share what has touched you, how you're going to take this information, how you're going to use this information. Are you going to bring it into your work? Are you going to bring it into your personal life? And getting into this habit of self-reflecting is a really good habit to get into.
Yeah, we do it all the time in practice, as teachers, always, in day-to-day life.
So here it says send all of your homework to your tutor. It says in one email, but the joy of working with this system is that you will easily see that your homework is able to be uploaded onto this system. So that's exciting for us as teachers. And then on receipt of all of your completed homework, so we'll be able to see that you've done your assessments, that you've done your essays, that you've done your book reviews, and you submitted your nutritional consultations. You will then be awarded a certificate in nutrition for health.
Whoop, whoop.
Boop, boop. Right, markers complete. Lovely, keep going, great job. So the purpose of the course, Claire, go for it.
Well, the purpose of the course is kind of, well, it's our why, isn't it?
Mm.
We, like Laura said, we started out on this journey because we were both really unwell and were looking for answers to our own health issues. And in doing so, started training as practitioners and then ended up in clinical practice and then ended up teaching. But what has been really interesting about coming into this industry at this time is this is the most critical time for human health ever. So we have been in a nutritional experiment since the 1960s, and the result is a global health crisis that is just getting worse. So we became quite astounded when we were in clinical practice about seeing the same things coming in over and over and over and over again. And this is actually what caused us to start creating our own protocols, because all of the courses, like you were saying about your diploma, Laura, and the ways that we had been taught felt outdated, and the research that we now have shows that they were outdated. Great tools, just outdated. So I use this phrase over and over again. We are in the middle of a global health crisis, the likes of which that have never been seen. And most people feel unwell or unfulfilled most of the time. The health systems are not geared up for the kind of chronic functional conditions that we see in our clinics. They are geared up for acute issues, emergency issues, things that require surgery, or maybe don't even always require surgery. Everything requires, medication or surgery. That is very often the answer in the medical health systems. And it isn't a solution for the chronic things that we're seeing in clinic. Autoimmune diseases, things like, eczema, asthma, psoriasis, they're the low-level autoimmune diseases. I mean, they're still life-affecting for people, but autoimmune diseases have now shot through the roof in terms of how many that are recognized, and some of them sound incredibly complicated. Cancer, who doesn't know someone who's been affected with cancer? Who doesn't know somebody who is tired all the time? People with awful menopauses or infertility or just horrendous hormonal conditions. I mean, PMDD was never even recognized. That's like, PMT times 1,000 and some. That was never really a thing until recently. So we are seeing the fallout in our clinics, and people need help. We needed help, and other people need help. So we call this being a frontline coach. And by making the changes that you will be able to start making recommendations about after this course on diet, on lifestyle, amazing things happen with people's health. And we cannot believe, we don't get bored, do we? After, I started in this in 2007, and you were training in health then too. We get the most unwell people coming in, and then by making some basic tweaks, everything changes. Or most things changed and you're left with something that, again, you can apply a different tool with.
I think what's really exciting about this course is that those basics that you're talking about are included in this course.
Yes.
We go into what is the issue with gluten, what is the issue with wheat, what is the issue with dairy, sugar, processed meats, caffeine, all of these things that are part of our daily diet, that when we start to understand what the ingredients are, how they're processed, how they're manufactured, how they've been changed, we start to get an understanding of where these conditions are coming from. So,
and then we can make informed changes.
Even though this is a foundation course, the information in this course is essential for health. And yes, like Claire was saying, one of the reasons that we wanted to do this is because when we teach our practitioners in functional wellness and functional kinesiology, we wanted them to have this up-to-date information.
Absolutely. So we're so passionate that people can make they can make different decisions when they're informed. And so with that education comes empowerment. And this is how we're able to take responsibility back for our health. It's how we can avoid unnecessary medication. And let's be honest, there's a lot of unnecessary medication, sometimes even unnecessary surgeries. And we can actually live a life of wellness and fulfillment as opposed to general malaise and misery. That was a cheery way to end.
And this is the solution. Welcome to our course. Okay, let's continue. Meet the tutors.
Well, that's us.
This is us. Oh, there we are. That's, I think, a photo that was taken in the summer.
It was taken in the summer. We look brown.
How glorious. So, yes. Hello, I'm Laura.
I'm Claire. And yeah, we've done all of that. We are highly experienced and all those things. We're quite marvellous. No. No, we are. So we are the creators of functional kinesiology. But kinesiology is a phenomenal therapy, but not everyone wants to be a hands-on body worker. So we took the information from our functional kinesiology, which, as I said, is all revolved around hormones and stress and immune and digestion, and created our functional wellness course, which is the protocols, but just the lifestyle and nutrition and not the body work that goes with it. We've also created a phenomenal course called Holding Space, which is an emotional training course, because the reason that we created that was a lot of practitioners, people cry on their personal trainers, they cry on their beauty therapists, and the practitioner often feels really awkward about it. And so we wanted to be able to create a fantastic training course so that practitioners know exactly what to do with a client's emotions. And it starts with ourselves. It starts with knowing what to do with our own emotions. So Holding Space, we're epically proud of all of our courses, but Holding Space is very different because it's working on the emotions as opposed to the health aspect. But we truly believe that they're connected, and we call that hashtag emotion health connection. Do you want to go on about the pillars?
Yes, this was when we started in clinic. When we were first practitioners, we worked with lots of different issues and conditions and people, and through our work we started to see the same kind of things coming in. And the joy of this partnership of me and Claire working together is that we put our heads together, brought our experience, our knowledge from our training, and we started to build a process that focuses on these 6 areas, these 6 pillars of health. So the first one is blood sugar stabilization, and this is why it's number 1, is that it is so important to get blood sugar stabilization in first. It's one of the key foundations to any kind of health, good health. And then from there is the adrenal support. So when we're talking about adrenal support, we're talking about stress. And a lot of us don't realize that we are stressed. But the way we live our lives, the pollution, the toxic chemicals, our environments, the technology, the fact that we're indoors a lot, this all contributes to an environment of stress. So adrenal support was, again, at the heart of what we were doing. Hormone regulation. Both of us personally and professionally have done a lot of work with hormone regulation. So this is estrogen, progesterone, testosterone primarily. Digestive health, it's a topic that a lot of practitioners do specialize in, but we've got it as number 4 because we often see that blood sugar stabilization adrenal support, hormone regulation is a priority in the system, and digestive
Well, it's funny,
digestion.
where we started, isn't it? Our first ever protocol was a protocol for irritable bowel syndrome that we actually created alongside a leading gastroenterologist. And it was only as we started diving into that, we kind of went, it's not really about the digestion, it's about hormones and adrenals and blood sugars. So that's where they started coming from.
One of the exciting things that we do is that we keep asking why. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And so when we learned about the digestion, we learned corrective tools and techniques and advice to be able to correct the digestion, but it never really held. And so it was that light bulb moment that led us to it's the hormone imbalance that is causing the digestion as a victim. And then the immune function. The immune function, again, is a victim of a hormonal imbalance, but is often because there is a digestive imbalance. So you can start to see that these areas all fit together in this beautiful jigsaw puzzle. And then our sixth pillar, which is emotional transformation. And like Claire was just saying, that this emotion health connection, nutrition is fascinating and a wonderful science. And for us to really be able to claim good health, we have to see the whole picture. We have to see nutrition as a part of health, as well as emotion as a part of health. So we can't look at these things in isolation. And this again was born out of us being in clinical practice and seeing clients and seeing the emotional fallout that often happens with conditions that could be coming from a nutritional imbalance, but there's also this emotional connection, or there's an emotional root core that has triggered a nutritional deficiency. So that there's such a link and an interweave that happens with these 6 areas. It's why when we developed them, we were so excited about them, because they work so closely together.
So between us, we have worked with thousands, literally thousands of people in our private practices, and we have mentored hundreds of students, not only in our own college, but we have both tutored for other colleges to the highest levels. And so we have had experience of training people in other disciplines and modalities, always in health. So a variety of different modalities, or we were teaching for ourselves, but different modalities. So we have literally been in classrooms for years and years and years of our lives. And we've also mentored students and practitioners. So we actually mentor people to get into practice. So we've kind of done all of it. And through that journey, we have extensively qualified. So we both hold the required certificates in education, levels 4, level 3s. We haven't just done nutrition or kinesiology. We have both done stacks of other modalities. And actually that training is also what created this interweaving of the information that we bring to you. And as I said, our mission is to create exceptional practitioners to be part of the solution with the crisis. And if you don't want to be a practitioner, well, then we strive to give you excellent information for you to be able to make exceptional life choices.
So we've got 2 more posts, one on homework, which we have pretty much covered. So the 2 essays that you will submit through this platform, which is fantastic. And then here's a little bit of information about how to write an essay, what we're looking for. So you don't need to be at all worried about what an essay is going to look like. We've given you all of that support. And the next one is the book review. And here is our fabulous list of 10 books.
I love them.
I love them. Which is your favourite?
Oh,
Or can we say that? Because we might influence what people choose. We've got real variety there. There's some books on food. There's some books on
situation,
micronutrients. There's some books on some different conditions. So there's yeah, there's a real mix there. I mean, feel free to read them all.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all brilliant books.
To do that.
Yeah, choose a book, and then we've got the book. We're looking for you to talk about what you liked, talk about what you disliked, give a roundup of the review, give it a rating if you want to, and we're looking for about 300 words. So that's your book review. So you can start this course and you can get stuck into your essays and get stuck into your book review. So that is, I'm going to stop sharing. There we are. So that is the introduction. We're delighted to welcome you onto this fantastic course, and we will see you for the next module.